There it comes. Hey, Dan.
Good morning. How are you? Well, is it evening time there?
Well, Dan, I know where you are, and yes, it is indeed morning. But over here, it's 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
I'm in Australia. I'll just bring you in front of me so I'm not looking at you at a strange angle. Yeah. There you go. How are you?
Yeah, all good. I've had to sort the lighting out. It's 7 a.m. and too bright. The sun's actually coming through the window, so I've closed the blinds, got the lights on. It's that time of the afternoon for me that I normally wind down. I mean, it's freaking amazing being on. I'm assuming you saw me on Mel's channel. Yes. Yeah. I've seen about 4 hours this week of yourself. So that's quite a lot.
Thank you so much. I literally just the last half hour. I was on the patio with my wife, and she said, "Oh, what's everyone saying about your video?" And I'm going, "Well, I've avoided the comments because I didn't want to, because you get some assholes, you really do. Some guys thinking that the whole thing's a hoax and so forth." But I was looking through the comments. I'm going, "Oh my God!" Like they appreciate it, what I said. So it's very fulfilling, and I've sort of done a few of these before, and I'm obviously my own channel. I'm doing more instructional stuff because at the end of the day, what I'm finding with lobster, it's so different to everything else. Yeah. That people need some detailed instruction. So I love that, and I love what I'm doing with helping people. I've got a massive group on the Gold Coast, which is a part of Queensland, which is it's a bit like Miami. It's sun, surf, high rises, canals, boats. It's a place you want to be in Queensland, and we're having a ball. I mean, I post on my group that I'm going for coffee in the morning, and like 10, 15 people turn up just to say good day and learn more and so forth. So it's pretty cool. In fact, tomorrow I'm having another coffee chat because my wife is a little bit ticked that I had fun without us because she works 4 days a week and tomorrow she's off, so we're going to have some more fun.
I went to Australia, it's got to be 20 years ago now. I went to Melbourne, Sydney, Portland, and I regret not going to Queensland. I didn't realise I had family out there. So,
is that right?
Yeah, when I came back, I found out. I was like, I could have gone up there for another 6 weeks. So
that's it. Everyone has a home, Come on, there's a couch here, That's right. In fact, I think that's how it's going to be after all this bullshit's over. We're gonna travel the world and meet all the people that we've connected with since the pandemic, and it's going to be one big party. I can definitely see once all these indus assets are open and so forth, and everyone's making money and what have you. Or those who are smart enough to, we're going to have fun. It's going to be one big party.
I mean, for the purpose of the channel, I mean, since we spoke, just briefly on email, your channel's exploded. You've gone from 1,800 subscribers, and you've almost doubled that in a matter of days.
Yeah. Yes.
And for those that don't know, I run a company called Arbrexis, and it's the host of Dashboard FX, and it's a mentor platform. So it's new. It's a new company. It's a mentor platform that acts a bit like Fiverr.com and Upwork, but it's for.
Oh yes, I know Fiverr. Yeah, I've got a few videos done by them. Yeah.
So it's designed for mentors to come on, like myself, and teach students about crypto, forex, and potentially lobster. So I've gone through your 40-minute tutorial on how to get into lobster and choose, from the spreadsheet, the Excel. And those links will be in the description of the video. I'm hoping that this would go forward on my channel just to explain a few things to people.
So in a kind of 90-second rundown or 5 minutes, whatever that is, for those that don't know, are we talking a potential global recession here? I know you mentioned something like a 10-day blackout on the channel. So what is it for the people that don't know what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
What is that in short?
Well, essentially, if we've been following the group called, or not the group, the personal whatever entity called Q, we know that what we're seeing right now is a military operation. So essentially, a Q, which is headed by Donald Trump, Q plus, and Q himself is JFK Jr., the son of JF Kennedy, who was assassinated. He faked his death back in 2000. Well, it was 2001 or 2000, in order to enact a plan to take down the cabal. So what we've been seeing for particularly the last 2 years, when everyone started to become awake with the pandemic, what we've been seeing is a systematic takedown of the cabal and their infrastructure systems. So we're now literally at the pinnacle, at the peak, or at the precipice, as I say, of a global collapse. And it's been brought on by what we call the white hats, those who have been orchestrating things in the background. So it's sort of like the okay, I need to go back to, well, I think I said it in the video about the 3 executive orders that Trump enacted that seized the world's wealth. They're now being splayed out on lobster, and now we're able to buy those assets for pennies, as I say, in order to, when we have this event, and the word is event, which I believe is very, very imminent. And what starts the event off is the death of your queen. When the queen is announced as dead, then a whole bunch of stuff happens. So the queen's been executed about 2 years ago. That's a whole different story. You've seen nothing really happening with the monarchy. Everything you do see is CGI and actors and so forth. But essentially, when the Queen dies, that triggers off with Operation London Bridge a whole series of events, and part of it will be a massive cyber attack that collapses the world stock markets, and of course crypto. I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum will crash everything. And it's mainly because, or one aspect of that is Evergrande, China's big property company. Their bonds are very, very heavily involved with Tether. Tether is corrupt as all hell. So Tether brings down Bitcoin, brings down Ethereum, and essentially it crashes everything. So if you're saying, if you're asking, what's going to happen with my shares? Zero. They're gone. If you own personal shares right now, they're fucking gone.
And that's in Bitcoin, Ethereum, the whole market.
No. If you own shares on the London Stock Exchange,
stock market,
on the NASDAQ, whatever, they're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone. But those shares and that value will be transported over to Lobster, and it'll be rebirthed. So all of us who are buying these Lobster assets, and we're talking like 2 billion tokens for like 1 XLM.
Yeah.
We're loading up on these tokens, knowing that the wealth transfer is about to happen. So you have to remember that the white hats, which is the whole operation, they shut down the Vatican in 2020. When in March 2020, when Italy was, the Rona's gone crazy, everyone's dying in the streets, that's when the white hats moved in and took out the Vatican. literally took out the Pope, the Black Pope, the Grey Pope, and all the minions. They went down into the catacombs, pulled out all the gold and silver. There's a tunnel going from the Vatican to Jerusalem, lined with gold. Took it all. Charlie Ward was contracted to take out all the gold and silver because Charlie Ward, that's what he does. He worked for the cabal. Not that he knew that, but he worked for the cabal to move money and gold and silver around the world. So he took out he was charged with taking out all that gold and silver, all the missing books of the Bible, all the artifacts and so forth, all been taken. So what you've been seeing as a pope has been CGI, and there's been many evidences of glitches showing that it's CGI, not real. They've all been taken out. And right now I'm looking at your face and go, holy fuck, is this guy real? But yeah, I'm real. It's well known in the truther community that the Pope's dead, the Queen's dead, and what we're seeing right now is a movie. It's a movie to wake people up. And we're about to see the Queen die tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think it's tomorrow.
But before even any of this, so I started researching this. It was only about a week ago, and two things was already kind of on my radar. Is that I'd already heard that the Queen had died at some point last year.
Oh, good, yeah. Excellent.
So what I'm trying to do, just on a personal basis, there's nothing to do with crypto, is go back and look at the news events that are being released about the Queen. Is she
she's
actually
frail?
Talking, is she talking about current events? Does she come out with any current events? Does she say about them? Like, does she talk about them? Other than her being in the background, shaking people's hands and being with Prince Andrew, who's no longer a prince, obviously. I can't see anything that the Queen is talking about that is live current events. So pre-recorded video. So I'm already looking at that, and there's
fantastic.
Loads of, there's the speculation that she is already dead, even from conversations about other things and away from financial markets. So I'm hearing that already, and then I jumped down the rabbit hole last week with XRP, XLM, Lobster Wallet. And I started piecing things together with Elon Musk, and I didn't know anything about Twitter and XRP and Elon Musk at the time. So I researched, and I thought, wouldn't it be crazy? And I put it in my group, so I teach people crypto and how to get in safely and all that. So I put in my group, wouldn't it be crazy if Elon Musk bought XRP or XLM? 2 days later, he put online that he's made an offer to XRP, and I was like, I'm going to lose my shit. So so the more the more you research about this, the more the events are actually out there already. So,
well, he's developed a lot of the assets on stellarmart.org are his. Doge token, for example, is his. So yeah, I mean, we have all known in the community that Elon Musk is a white hat, that he's putting up all these satellites, Starlink, which is going to give us free internet. So when the Queen dies, it triggers a whole bunch of events, which includes Bitcoin and Ethereum going to zero eventually, and the stock market's going to zero. Everyone's and a world war. There'll be a simulated. Well, I say simulated. There will be targets that are destroyed as part of this world war, and everyone will lose their fucking mind. But we know that it's all a show. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
So Buckingham Palace will be smashed to smithereens. Windsor Palace, the White House, the Vatican. They'll all get taken out with what they call rods of God, which essentially is a weapon that is dropped from a satellite. It's about that round. It's about 4 meters long, tungsten tip. It comes down with such speed and force that it's like a nuclear bomb, but there's no fallout. So all these targets will be taken out around the world, and these targets are satanic targets. the world's controlled by Satanists, and that's hard for people to understand. But in doing that, it releases the oppression and the satanic energy that's on the world, and then everyone, well, I believe everyone will start to go, holy crap, what was that? Because now all that oppression energy will dissipate. But in that in that 3-day event, it will seem like the world is coming to an end, and people will lose their mind. And then comes the EBS, the Emergency Broadcast System, and that is essentially worldwide to all your phones, to your TV. It'll say go home and shelter. So there'll be a worldwide lockdown, and what that is the world's militaries taking control of everyone's government, because all the world's governments are corrupt as hell. They're all puppets of the New World Order, and a lot of them have been dealt with. A lot of them have been arrested and dealt with and tried. But what we're seeing is CGI actors with masks. I mean, Joe Biden was executed 2 years ago. But what we're seeing is a bloody good actor acting the role of Dopey Biden. And when the world finally wakes up and finds that out, it'll be very interesting. So nothing you see on TV, nothing you see on social media is real. It's all a plan to wake people up, get people thinking, because the bottom line is when the world finds out who the Queen really was, she run the world. She run the CIA, all the nefarious agencies. Well, nefarious to us, anyway. She was the head of the 13 families that ruled the world. How do I know that you're not a black hat? I've just realised I'm telling you all this stuff here, and maybe I'm being played.
Oh, I'm not a black hat. Well,
No?
Google me. So if you go, our Brexit Limited, I've got a PO box address, London. There's dashboardfx.co. I've just obviously you've seen my channel. My channel grew from nothing about 2 years ago, and I was talking about Solano, just XRP even at the time, just trying to grow my channel, and I'm up to sort of 1,200 subscribers. But now I'm trying to build Dashboard FX to potentially be just a freelance website. Just to help.
Okay, fair enough. I said a holy shit moment, you know.
No.
Because I can be a little bit free with information. So,
no, I mean I came across you through the XRP QFI team. I listened to the conference with Emily. And
good. So you've got that background.
Yes, and then that's brought me to your channel. And then when I went through your channel, so I went through your channel. It's all about Daxi. I went through your website and it said contact me and have a chat. And, you know.
Daxi's another great. Well, that's on my banners in the back. Daxi's another great project. After the event, when there are people that will have billions of dollars at their disposal, and they will be involved with the rebuilding of the world. Now, a lot of people have got their own what we call RV projects. Like they literally have Zims and Dongs and Dinars, and they're waiting to cash these currencies in to get money in the revaluation, and they will have billions of dollars at their disposal. To do that, you have to have a Stellar wallet, as everyone's finding out. That's hence why, if you look at the number of wallets being created on Stellar in the last week, has gone woohoo, because now the world is understanding that if you want to get be part of wealth transference, you have to have a Stellar wallet.
Yeah.
So that whole community is now waking up to the fact that it's not just about It's not just about having your currency, or it's not about having my physical gold and silver, or it's not just about having my XRP. Everything ties together with Stellar, because every person in the world, whether you right now are banked or unbanked, will have a Stellar wallet and will have a quantum phone. Not this one. This is bloody Samsung, but it'll be a phone that operates on the quantum internet, which basically means your phone interacts with your brain. You don't have to do a thing. You have to talk. You think, and things happen. Now, this is not the crap that Klaus Schwab and the New World Order is talking about, metaverse and all that. Yes, metaverse is real, but it'll be a good version. That's all coming, and it's all there. The phones have been made in China, Germany, and the US. All the infrastructure's there. All we're waiting for is the flip, waiting for the switch, and the switch is that reptilian queen. Once she's officially dead, then everything happens, and happens very, very fast. And we have a massive crash. We're told to go home, and then in that process, the power into the world is shut off. Everyone's power gone. And then they bring up the Tesla energy through these various Tesla towers around the world. And so the power comes back on. Up the top there, all those satellites that are controlling the world's media get knocked out, and the Tesla, the Starlink internet becomes active, and now we have free internet. Yeah. But we're still essentially locked or waiting for things to happen. So in that 10 days of being locked down, being under military control, we watch TV. And all your TV channels will be overridden by one message, and it's a 8-hour movie played 3 times a day for 10 days, explaining what the fuck we've been going through, not just for the last 2 years, but for centuries. Yeah. We'll be told the truth for the first time in our lives. Everything you've been told right now, everything you've learned at university, everything you've been told by your parents, everything you've been told by your teachers is a fucking lie. And we'll be told the truth for the first time. And it will shock people. Some won't make it. They'll go early.
Even the pandemic showed that. I think the suicide rate itself rose dramatically. So
way bigger than what it's been reported. That's right.
Yeah.
And as Q says, the end is not for everyone. But the bottom line is that when we come out of this, when we learn the truth, when we're all starting to think as one, our collective consciousness, then things happen very fast. And that's the beauty of Mel's channel and QSI and Whiplash. We're all thinking as one, and things are happening fast. Things are happening in my life so fast because we're thinking and we're vibrating at a much higher level than someone living in fear, looking at the TV and give it to me, give me what I need to know.
Yeah,
I haven't watched TV for 2 years. Yeah, that's right. Haven't watched TV for 2 years. So, literally in that 10 days, we get told the truth. But in that 10 days, it's what the Q post talks about, SEC 10 days, which is essentially that the entire world's infrastructure, meaning it's stock markets, derivatives, bonds, everything gets transported from where it is right now over onto Stellar. Stellar XLM is going to be the new stock market.
And is that because of the 3 executive orders? That the executive orders?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So those executive orders basically seize the world's wealth, because every if you watch a video, I showed my wife last night for the first time because we mentioned it on Mel's channel. It's called the Bonfire Guys channel. It was actually originally done by a guy called Charlie Freak. And he talks about how when Trump got into power, he went around the world to all the leaders and said, here's the evidence of child trafficking. Here's the videos of you fucking a child. There it is there. We've got it. You are involved with pedophilia. You're involved with satanic worship. And they all capitulated. All the world's leaders capitulated. All the heads of all the various big Fortune 500 companies, they all capitulated. That's why you've seen since 2017, all these CEOs resigning. Yeah. Because they're giving up the shares, they're giving up their the CEOship, and a lot of them have already been executed, have gone bye-bye. The same thing with all the Hollywood celebrities. I mean, Tom Hanks was the first to go. Tom Hanks was the biggest adrenochrome dealer on the west coast of the US. Have you heard of adrenochrome?
Nope.
Oh shit. Okay. When you torture a child and you scare the fuck out of a child, adrenaline goes through the body. When you extract the adrenaline, the blood, and you drink it, you get a massive high. That's what all the world's CEOs, that's what all the world leaders have been sucking on for decades. Huh. It's adrenochrome, and it's manufactured mainly in underground DUMs, they call them, deep underground military installations. The world's in every freaking country. Every country in the world has got underground DUMs underneath. And I've been watching, earthquake.com.au or earthquake.gov. You see the earthquakes every day, and they're all at the 10-kilometer level, because the white hats are blowing up these, or they're going in, rescuing the children. They're in cages and, strung up and tortured, rescuing the children, getting them out, and then blowing up the DUMs and blowing up the entities that are controlling it. And that's a whole new rabbit hole for you. This has been happening now consistently for the last, since Trump's been in power, at least, so 4 or 5 years. But particularly, I mean, Australia, where I'm from, I know what's going on. I mean, Australia is so demonic. Our leaders are so sick, and they've all been dealt with in some way. And all the tunnels have been blown up, or most of them. I'm still seeing even today 4 earthquakes in certain areas, which I know are DUMs. This is a lot to take in on a bloody Zoom. But time is short. And again, I mean, prove me wrong if the Queen doesn't announce it's dead in the next week at least, anyway. Everything is. I mean, you're coming into this at the tail end.
Yeah, I did. So I've seen loads of things. I think it was even yourself that said, "Don't wait until tomorrow to invest in this because it's going to go."
Yeah, that's right.
So just so I had a few questions. So obviously, I'm still going down the rabbit hole, like you say. And certainly everything that I've researched so far has happened afterwards. So it hasn't happened before, and then I've gone and read it. I've kind of pieced a few things together, and then it's gone and happened. It's gone on social media and so forth. So the questions I'm coming back from. So I've told 2 or 3 students already. The question I've got coming back is why Lobster? So Lobster has access to the Stellar token. So why? So the first question that came back was, why wouldn't the government? And it's not meant to be FUD or anything. It's the normal train of thought in today's society.
Of course.
So it would be, why wouldn't the government seize the goods, sell them at auction houses, and put that money back into the dollar?
Oh, that's coming. I mean, you see all the big mega yachts being seized and so forth. That's coming. I'm looking forward to buying a mega yacht at a bloody good price. But
this is called the wealth transference.
Yeah.
So it's those who are awake, that understand what's going on, who are buying gold and silver, who are buying XRP, who are, it's a whole different generation to me. Oh, I say different mindset to me, who have bought all these what we call revaluation currencies. So dinar, dong, and the other ones in particular. There's 14 different currencies that are going to revalue tremendously. Because Trump said we need a level playing field, which means that all countries will have a very even and equal currency. All countries now, as a result of seizing all that gold and silver from the Vatican, from particularly the Queen, and from Switzerland, all that gold has been seized. They have quantum dots on them, so the satellites can see where every bar of gold is in the world. They've been redistributed to all the countries. That's your gold reserves. Now we're creating these gold tokens, and then as we do transactions around the world, it's all gold backed. The world, it will be divided into 7 kingdoms based on ancient lines, shall we say.
Yeah.
So Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the Pacific Islands will all go to the United States. So Australia will be part of the United States. I'm sure they'll call it something other than the United States. And there's quantum computers around the world in these different kingdoms. And these quantum computers will run and do transactions based on these tokens that are on Lobster. So you've got induspayment.com, which has got a whole bunch of gold and silver tokens. You got USDC. No, usually I'm on my brain. Token.org. There's a whole bunch of tokens that are specifically designed to run the quantum transactions, as well as there's liquidity tokens, a whole bunch of stuff. But we are now buying those tokens for pennies, as I say, knowing that after the event, after the flip, as we call it, they'll be worth a fortune. So what I personally have done will make me a quadrillionaire.
Well,
quadrillionaire. And that's not to brag, because there's more money than I can handle. And so there's so many projects I want to work on.
That's where it puts the power back into the people, though. This is the whole movement, isn't it?
Yeah,
is that
that's the whole idea.
People like you and I could then potentially make big decisions, because we're financially better off.
Yes, that's right. So, as Trump has said, governments will shrink to 1/10 of the size, and governments will do our bidding. So essentially, what's going to happen is when this event goes down, I've been talking about, and the 10 days of what we call darkness, where we're told the truth, when we come out of that, 20 days time, so 120 days after that, every government in the world, or every country in the world, has to have new and fresh elections done with blockchain voting, with no dominion, no sidle, no bloody corruption. And then we'll be electing people, and they will not be politicians. And politicians are all going bye-bye. They'll all be arrested. And the people that represent us, they will put forward policy, and then we, the people in the world, in our own country, will sit there and vote on that policy through blockchain voting. We will have the power. Every individual in their country will decide the fate of the country with their phones. It's power of the people.
Yeah, good.
So that's coming. I mean, I've been saying for the last, probably 6 months that we're almost there. But now, as the Indus domains
stock market's been laid out on Lobster and all these other tokens involved with the quantum financial system. If we couldn't have had this what we call event without all the stuff being in place first. So now it's all in place, and we're looking for very closely the Queen to Karkat officially, and she's about to go on a helicopter ride back home tomorrow. And we all know that, all those who are awake know that the Queen will die in a helicopter crash.
Wow. Because
the Queen sanctioned the assassination of a White Hat operation that was taking out the 13 families. Captain Mike Green was on one of the helicopters. She ordered his death and his team, and now she'll get the reverse. She will die in a helicopter crash. So look for, I think it's tomorrow, your time tomorrow at 11 p.m. It's either tomorrow night or the night after. I've got my dates. It's in the calendar, but essentially your time at 11 p.m. she will die in a helicopter crash.
Oh. I'm just so that you're aware, I'm not like a royalist or anything like that either. So this whole corruption behind Prince Andrew is just completely immense. Yeah. It's ridiculous. You know. Yeah. So there is so much corruption behind the royals. So
yeah.
But so
listen, I like you, and I want to continue this conversation. I've got a lady called Nikki who's also in the UK in Birmingham.
Yeah.
She
next door to
she
me.
wants some more instruction. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So look, I've essentially locked down my calendar because I'm getting so many requests. But I've opened up my calendar for my time next Tuesday. So if you go onto my calendar and you'll see, which will be like, I think it'll be Wednesday your time. Yeah. Have a look and make another time to catch up again, because I think.
Love that, yeah.
And by then, we could not be able to communicate because we were in lockdown. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah,
great information.
It's all very, very interesting. So. Look, I mean, I'll talk to anyone, share anything, and I like you thus far. So let's catch up next week, and we'll see what happens.
Appreciate it. All right, thanks for your time. Cheers, good to
mate. Cheers.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.